Hi everyone. So I'm gonna give you my reading rundown for March, but I'm gonna do it in 3 different videos because I read a lot in March, which is good. I'm gonna do my first video of my 5-star reads, and then I'm gonna do my 4-star reads, and then my 3-star reads plus a DNF. So stick around. This video is gonna be my 5-star reads. So let's get into it. Okay, so I had 3 5-star reads for March, and 2 of them I've already made videos about, so I won't get into them too much. But the first one is Chain Gang All Stars by Nana Kwame Adjei-Brenyah. You can see my other video on it. I go into it in some detail, but it's basically the American prison system meets the Hunger Games. It's intense. It feels horrifyingly possible. Um, I'm still recovering from it, to be honest. I'm glad I read it, but it's not for the faint of heart. So do with that what you will, but definitely 5 stars. So the next one was The Picture of Dorian Gray by Oscar Wilde. I decided that I was going to read a classic for every month of this year. I kind of failed in January and February. I tried to read Siddhartha by Hermann Hesse, and while I do think that book is good, it just is not the kind of book that I can read while doing other things. It's really philosophical, and I had a DNF. Maybe I will go back to it at some point when my life is quieter. But I didn't get through that one. And February, I just didn't get to one. So I did Dorian Gray in March, and that one made up for it. That is a classic, like I said, for a reason. It's really Oscar Wilde at his best. It's just top-notch writing, top-notch little quips and things like that. And I definitely recommend it. Again, it's not an easy read, but it's good. I will say for that one, I started an audiobook on the Libby app and I did not like the audiobook reader. Sometimes when you have these like British men that read in this very old-fashioned way, it just makes it kind of hard for me to connect. So I went on to Amazon or Audible and I got Michael Sheen reading it, and that one was way better. He's awesome. So recommend Michael Sheen, not some rando that you find on Libby. If you want to hear me give you the full synopsis of that book and my thoughts, I made a kind of a long video on that, and you can go check that out. And my third 5-star read for the month of March is another Hermione fanfic. This one might be my favorite. I don't know. I feel like they're all the ones that I've read so far that I've talked about are all so good for different reasons. But this one feels like it was written for me because it's essentially like Jane Austen meets Doctor Who. It's uh, Draco and Hermione work for the Ministry, and they work in like the time and space department. So they're, working with time turners, and they have an accident and they find themselves in Regency, England. It's just so, so, so beautiful. Their banter in it is really good. It's not like as quippy and tight as maybe the Draco and the Mortifying Ordeal of Being in Love, but it's like a little bit more screwball and it's like funny and it's a little bit more like really the way people talk to each other. They're both like, of course, idiots. They're both in love with each other, but they don't know that. This one, unlike the Mortifying Ordeal, is from more from Hermione's point of view. So you are kind of with her in this journey of like feeling unsure. It kind of presents her as this person who's got her life all very planned out, very type A, and she just doesn't want a lot of distractions or things that are going to break her heart or take her world down. So she's like a little bit wary of him. But he just he is lovely in this book. And there is spice, but not until the end. But I will say that's what's really nice about this book is there's a lot of affection between them all the way through. Like even when they don't know that they love each other, there's like a lot of hugging and holding and just like all the sweet things that we love from a Regency, where like it's like these looks between each other and like it's almost like that Darcy hand flex thing happens. It's so super, super lovely. And I just couldn't get over the writing, their banter, but also just like the prose. So, so good. There were so many lines that I just wanted to like highlight and save forever. I feel like I'm going to be thinking about this one for a very, very long time. This is by an author named Pacific Rimbod. Um, and I will link it. It's really, really worth your time. It's not as long as the other ones. It was, I think, about 400 and so pages. So it's definitely a little bit more manageable than like Manacled or Ordeal of Being in Love. And I cried at the end because I just didn't want it to end. It was that good. Okay, so go to part 2 for my 4-star reads.